You know what type of anime I'm not really into or interested in watching? Are gay romance anime. It's not really for me. But unlike others in our current generation, I don't have this authoritarian way of thinking that everybody should like what I like and whatever I dislike should be done away with. No, I'm the opposite. I let people enjoy what they enjoy, and all I ask in return is that you allow me to do the same. So me not really being into this type of anime, it would be very foolish of me to watch, then complain when I see two men kissing. It's almost like watching an anime that has fan service from the beginning, then complain when it continuously offers it throughout the series. Well, to no one's surprise, there is an anime that suffers from this constantly, and that is Fire Force with my girl Tamaki. Fire Force Season 3 still has a major flaw that makes me want to pull my hair out. Excessive fan service continues to disrupt the story. Just for clarity, any amount of fan service, even to the most minuscule amount, is always too much for these folks, so never trust when they say excessive. Within a few minutes of the new season, that same frustration comes back. Just when you're getting immersed in the heat of the battle or the tension of an unfolded conspiracy, bam! Tamaki trips over her own feet, clothes fly, and the tone of the scene crashes into what feels like a shallow pit of forced fan service. Yes, that's the joke. That is the gag. Part of her character is to serve as comic relief, something that is obviously intended from the author or creator. And again, that's like me watching a gay romance anime, and when two men kiss, I get upset like, again?
Son of a bee sting!
Why is this always happening? So by this point, if you're still watching Fire Force and Tamaki comedic fan service still upsets you, that's all on you.
Dumbass.
Hey, fan service isn't really that bad in itself. It's called fan service for a reason. After all, it's supposed to be for the fans. But in Fire Force, it really gets out of control. You know, she's kind of making the point for me how fan service is for the fans. So in saying that, you're kind of telling on yourself or what you are and aren't of this show. But you know what I do when I watch something I end up not liking? I stop watching. And a good example of this is Rent a Girlfriend. After about a season and a half, I realized this anime isn't for me. The main character wants a girlfriend, and the girl who wants to be his girlfriend, who's a baddie by the way, he turns her down constantly, and instead chooses to keep paying this one girl who keeps him on a leash, feeding him this false hope it seems at the cost of going broke, and sells him the biggest psyop in the world, that she's actually doing him a favor by allowing him to pay her to date him.
What kind of shit is that?
And at a point, I just got frustrated, expecting I would see some growth by now, and I just stopped watching. I made a mature decision. Now, not once did I advocate that this story cease to exist or try to rip it away from what the fans seem to enjoy from it, because there's an abundant amount of other anime to choose from that I can watch that gives me what I'm looking for, something this journalist is incapable of doing. The frequency and intensity of these moments break the pacing, kill the tension, and even undercut powerful emotional beats. You could be watching a scene where humanity is on the brink of destruction, and then suddenly Tamaki falls face first onto someone's lap again. Don't forget the jiggle physics. The problem is that 90% of the fan service focuses on her, and it isn't creative or subtle. You know what I also notice? This criticism only goes in one direction and is never targeted at men. Women are attracted to muscles and lean muscular physiques, but when a main character has their shirt off or starts flexing unnecessarily, I never hear men complain about it. Like, take this guy for instance. When the sergeant whose main weapon is artillery, guns and whatever, is fighting alongside Maki's brother, they encounter this guy barely dressed at all, only in drawers and a cape, and they instantly recognize this guy as an intimidating threat and needs to be taken seriously. And then out of nowhere, he starts flexing like he's Johnny Bravo. That's funny. That's a gag. It's comic relief delivered in a serious scene, as this journalist mentioned of what Maki does. Same thing with Armstrong in Full Metal Alchemist. His character is known for whenever facing off with an opponent in a fight, he rips his shirt off gladly, like it's an urge he can't help, like he suffers from impulse control, acting like Arnold in a bodybuilding competition. It's part of his character. It's funny, something you learn to expect whenever he gets into a fight, and would be foolish not to see it coming. It's a shame because Tamaki really could be a great character. Her sad history, the possibility of her becoming a skilled fire soldier, and her chemistry with the rest of Company 8 set her up for a compelling arc. But it looks like the writers are more interested in reducing her to a joke than seeing who she actually is. Yeah, of course you know the characters more than the actual writers, right? What makes it worse is that other than Tamaki, Fire Force fan service honestly isn't that bad. The other characters don't have to go through all those cringe-worthy moments repeatedly. They get to grow, evolve, and take part in a more serious part of the story. Again, Armstrong gets the same treatment in Fullmetal Alchemist, serving as comic relief, stripping down whenever a fight occurs needlessly, but at least Tamaki gets an arc. The only thing we learn about Armstrong is that his big sister can beat his ass whenever she wants, also adding to the comic relief. Some fans may now argue that the creators are merely providing what the public wants, sure, but playing to your audience doesn't mean sacrificing your artistic style or emotional flow. That's what you call having a healthy relationship between creator and fans, something that the West could learn from. The creator knows what their fans want and they deliver. And obviously they're not losing out on you as well with others who still complain about it because you still choose to watch. So it's a win-win. The creator is pleasing their fans while still retaining you as a faithful viewer. Despite all that has happened, Fire Force isn't beyond saving. Season 3 is ripe with opportunities for improvement, and if the creators genuinely want to do the intensity of those later arcs justice, where the stakes are really high, they must start treating Tamaki with the respect she flat out deserves. Tone down the slapstick, let her mature, let her be a fighter, a protector, and a fully fleshed out character, not a gimmick for cheap laughs. Until then, we'll be watching, yeah, of course you will, like I said, but we'll be watching through our fingers, half hoping another accidental wardrobe malfunction will sabotage an otherwise fantastic moment. I swear, these people treat fan service like it's the boogeyman, watching through your fingers like it's a horror movie. Come on. Basically what they mean by mature, make every woman a girl boss, plain and simple, but regardless, just like she said, she'll still be watching. So in the end, Fire Force and my girl Tamaki still wins. But her arc is being fleshed out, and instead of being impatient, giving it to us immediately, they're taking their time, because the more you hold out, the more of a moment it's going to be. Now, here are some random takes on Tamaki overall that despite people complaining about, they still choose to watch. This is the most unnecessary fan service in the history of anime, with a respectable response. There is no such thing as unnecessary fan service, right on. Watches anime that has fan service, complains about fan service. Europe, okay. I'm gonna just let this one rock with the visuals because I don't know, YouTube might demonetize me just for that. Deport tourist. Same tired argument again. People attacking Fire Force over fan service. It's always female fan service, la bad. But when Dante takes his shirt off, they go wild. Atsushi Okubo isn't your typical mangaka, and you won't get away with it this time like you did with video games. Man, good point, preach. Also goes along with my point I said earlier as well. And this one I think sums it all up perfectly. New anime fans, when they watch anime and it has unnecessary fan service, evil demons, and no realistic panic attack scenes. And I'm glad to see the fans' sanity prevails from all of this. But that's all I have for this video. Tell me what you think in the comment section below. Tamaki's my girl, I love Maki as well, but Hibana might be my favorite. Them things just speak to you like no other. And like I said, when I get frustrated with what a show is constantly providing, I stop watching. It's really that simple. Stop complaining about what others love and watch something else. Or just leave the medium as a whole. That might be better. And if you haven't already, check out my music on Spotify. Links in the description. If you love those Samurai Champloo lo-fi mellow boom bap vibes, then my music is definitely for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Free think. Peace.